The alleged stalker of Liv Morgan has been arrested outside the WWE Performance Center. Plus, we have an update on an absent AEW star and the reason behind R-Truth's recent WWE release. I think you know what it is. It's all in the Cultaholic Wrestling News right now. The alleged stalker of Liv Morgan was arrested last night outside the WWE Performance Center. This was news that was broken on Twitter.
Yeah, NXT reporter Najee, who was at last night's NXT television taping at the Performance Center, tweeted that a legit stalker was arrested outside the Performance Center last night. The accused had multiple bags of evidence taken in by police officers during the arrest, with Fightful's Sean Ross Sapp confirming Liv Morgan's stalker was arrested. WWE had been made aware of the situation and called in authorities. The identity of the individual is unknown at this time.
This is something that's come around a few times for WWE talent. Back in November of 2020, Stalker was arrested at the home of former WWE star Paige. In 2023, you have the story of the Stalker breaking into Sonya Deville's home. With an attempt to kidnap her, as it was revealed. And also in 2015, August 2015, police shot and arrested Armando Alejandro Montalvo outside the WWE Performance Center. He trespassed and refused to leave the training facility's premises. They're not taking any precautions when it comes to something like this, and rightly so.
Nor should they, yeah, for sure. I think it's just terrifying. People build these parasocial relationships with people that they see on telly or in media of any form, grow very attached to them. They're typically obviously mentally unwell people. However, it must be just terrifying to be a performer because you know what? They all deal with it. We hear about the big ones and the ones where arrests happen, but I would put money on the fact that every WWE superstar, both male and female, has dealt with problematic fans. And it must be so unbelievably unpleasant.
It's something we're going to keep an eye on. When we know more about it, we'll let you know more at cultaholic.com. Now, AEW flavored news, and Wardlow hasn't been on AEW TV since about March of last year. We have an update on him, don't we, Adam?
Fightful Select saying Wardlow suffered what is believed to be a labrum injury in the spring of 2024. At some point during his hiatus, he was also involved in a car accident. It was made clear to us that the car accident didn't cause the injury, but made it worse. Fightful also reporting that Wardlow signed up for what is said to be a very appropriate and special television role earlier this year, but he's been cleared to return since then. It was agreed by Tony Khan and Wardlow that it wouldn't make sense to bring him back, only for him to vanish again to do this TV stuff. And so he is remaining on hiatus until he's been remaining on hiatus until his TV commitments were complete. So hopefully he'll be back pretty soon. What's the TV thing?
Very appropriate and special. We're either getting a sitcom called That's My Wardlow, or it's Wardlow's Powerbomb Symphony, a reality show where he becomes a musical conductor.
We were just talking about Alan Partridge before we started this video.
Idea for a show.
Monkey tennis?
Monkey tennis. People have brought you monkey tennis, Wardlow's Powerbomb Symphony.
I can see him doing very well in sort of wider media, away from wrestling. He's got a class look. He's just a terrifying man. He's somebody that I really enjoy. I love watching him wrestle, but I can't think of a henchman role that he wouldn't be spot on for. Do you know what I mean?
He'd be great in all of those. Another name that's been absent from AEW TV for quite some time, and WWE TV, let's be honest, is Chris Jericho.
It's been brilliant. I love it. It's like a holiday, isn't it?
Absinthe makes the heart grow fonder. Wrestling Observer give us an update on Jericho's status.
Saying his Fozzy tour is over. He's done some TV work while he's been gone, a couple of TV shows. As far as coming back to AEW, there's nothing on the table right now. I think he felt it was time for a break. So that's that. Right, it took him a while, didn't it, to figure that out. I don't miss him at all. Don't get me wrong, one of the GOATs and everything, and it's very easy to sit here in 2025 and slag off Chris Jericho, as I'm doing right now. He is one of the best to ever do it, but I haven't enjoyed what he's done for the last 4-ish years, something like that. It's been quite a while since I've really got invested in a Jericho program or feud. So, you know what? Maybe we will be happy to see him back. If you wait long enough and he comes back and he's got Another new gimmick? Well, I don't know. Will we ever want him back?
I think that the last few months of his run, the gimmick has been, nobody wants me here, so here I am. So that's been the overarching gimmick. So you need to really let the nuclear fallout just cool on the Jericho being part of TV.
You know what would work? If he wants to hang up the boots in the foreseeable, give him the old Ric Flair thing. Next time you lose, you're gone. I think
nice.
people might actually think,
you lose immediately.
Yeah, first match. Bring Marco Stunt back. That might be the way to do it, because it would be like, oh man, he has given so much, and he has been, for the majority of his career, incredibly entertaining. One last run, it could end at any moment.
I really like that idea.
Thank you.
That's really nice. It's something that gives homage to his career and adds jeopardy and a reason for Jericho matches to happen.
Yeah, you'd be excited about a Jericho match because it could end.
Yeah.
Whatever side of the fence you're on, if you hate him or you love him, you will either be gutted or you'll be buzzing because he's done. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. One person that we are not buzzing to be done is R-Truth in WWE. Just Sunday night here in the UK, the news came down that from R-Truth himself that he was stepping away at the end of his WWE contract. We all thought it was some kind of wacky April Fool, but in June, perhaps, part of his character or something like that. No, legit news, and one that the entire industry's pretty much reeled from, because especially within WWE, he is so beloved, and you see that even like a few days afterwards, you see that the ripple effects of R-Truth going. The reason behind him leaving has been revealed. It's not going to shock you.
No, WrestleVotes on a backstage pass Q&A saying it's a contract thing, it's a financial thing. Truth, for no reasons that he's been around for a very long time, was making a lot of money. That's the main reason he is no longer a part of this company. It's not like a surprise here he's on a lot of money. Like, I imagine he's on a pretty decent pushing seven-figure deal and everything, but also he's just had one of the top-selling t-shirts, and I'm not saying that's going to pay for the entirety of his contract or anything like that, but I think you're losing something by getting rid of R-Truth. I had somebody on the Twitch thing yesterday going like, oh, he's a 50-year-old who barely wrestles anymore. And to me, it's not about that. It's the entertainment that he brings even away from the ring. It's the backstage promos and segments. I can't remember the last R-Truth segment that I wasn't entertained by. And I always considered R-Truth a reason to watch the weekly shows, because he brought something that not many other people brought. And I felt the same way about Carlito as well. It was just fun. It was... You've taken away two of the more fun and comedic characters from WWE TV, and I just think that's a shame. Yeah,
it is. And in terms of where he goes next, he's apparently had some big offers already that we've sort of heard rumors and rumblings about. Tommy Dreamer has extended the invite for him to do stuff in TNA. I think if he could get away with it, and I don't think legally they will get away with it, I love the idea of Ron Killings turning up in AEW, getting into the ring with Cope and going, Edge, there you are!
Been ages.
It's been ages. All right, Christian. I would, obviously, it's a legal minefield to do something that hilarious, but it would be really good.
No, they could do that. As long as he doesn't use the trademarks, they can get away with that. It would be fun, wouldn't it? I don't know how long that...
I'm going to win the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, just do all that fun stuff. Because that's why he's really unpredictable, isn't he? Because he's daft. It's really fun. Also, a report saying WWE didn't want talents wearing R-Truth shirts on Raw. Saying, we've seen it in the past. Guys get hurt. People move on. You see one of their shirts snuck in. That happened last night with Carlito Dominic. Mysterio had a Carlito shirt on TV. But supposedly, they didn't want any R-Truth shirts being worn by talent last night. An interesting one that people picked up on with this. Rhea Ripley wearing the red tank top, whereas previously she posted a picture to social media with the t-shirt on. But when it got to the live show, she was wearing a sort of, I don't want to say out of character, but non-merchy outfit.
Yeah, I wonder whether you get the vibe that kind of fits in with that story. They're going, don't draw attention to the fact that R-Truth isn't here.
Yeah,
R-Truth, along with Valhalla and Carlito, departing WWE when their contracts expire. Wrestling Observer sources are suggesting that more contracts with WWE could be expiring soon. It seems like, and this is something that we said yesterday, TKO don't necessarily want to just get rid of people and pay them off for 30 days or 90 days. They would rather have people active right up until the very end of their deals and then let them go. It seems to be more financially sensible on their part.
Well, you know what? I think it's fairer. I think it's fairer because those contracts, they expire, and there's never a guarantee that your contract is going to be extended, a new contract is going to be offered to you. So I think it gives wrestlers a bit more time to prepare, that maybe they will get a phone call saying that contract isn't going to be renewed, because they've got a date. It's better than a random phone call, right, on a Thursday evening going, oh, by the way, you're gone.
Bye.
Best of luck, future endeavors and all that. So I do think it's a fairer way of doing it. I'm just a bit gutted about the people that we've lost this week.
There's been a few, hasn't there? There's a few entering the free agent market. I spoke to one of them in Riley Osborne, former member of Chase U. I had a good long chat with him. That is on the Cultaholic Wrestling News podcast feed for you right now. We talk about a couple of scrap plans that he had for other gimmicks outside of being a part of Chase U. He talks about getting the phone call that he had about his release. He talks about his time moving to the States and sort of what's next for him as well. One of those being turning on the Christmas lights at Egremont, Cumbria Council. You know what you have to do. Tomorrow, another Cultaholic Wrestling exclusive. I had a chat with Wolfgang yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Had a catch up with Barry.
Cool.
So we chatted for about an hour and a half, me and Wolfgang. So we talk about his time working through NXT UK and NXT, how he was last minute written in to go further in that initial UK title tournament. He was actually added to. He was meant to go much. He wasn't meant to go as far as he did, and he's got evidence that suggested they changed their mind.
Oh, he's got receipts, has he?
Oh, he has. He's got receipts, and also an incredible story about Wolfgang and The Rock that you haven't heard anywhere else.
There aren't many people that can say they've trained The Rock.
No.
Are there? How could, that's a bloody feather in the cap there.
I know, right? But he gives me a story that my jaw hit the floor when he told me this story about this interaction with him and The Rock. For whatever reason, you'll hear it and you'll have your own opinions. You will hear it tomorrow if you are on the podcast feed. And also if you're a patron, you can get the video version as well. And for the very latest wrestling news at any time, you can check out Cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.